everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the Tech Shamans. I'm John. This is Adam, and this is other John.
John, good morning.
This is my brother John. Is my other brother John. That's not right.
Hilarious.
It's so not right. Good morning, everybody. Sorry to come out. I am a morning person. Have you ever noticed that? I am ready to go in the morning.
Definitely morning.
3 o'clock hits, I'm ready to go
Must be nice.
to bed.
Must be nice. Well, you know what? I'm not too bad now because of the time change. You know, now I'm thinking I'm sleeping an hour later, so it's like, oh, okay, I should be up. So everything's good.
But
What? No.
I've
buts.
never really. The time change doesn't mess with me.
Oh, it messes with
Oh,
me.
it does me too. My wife more than me. She's still like, I hate this. I hate this.
Oh yeah, my wife's
I
going
don't
crazy.
like
Shit.
this.
And I hate. I will tell you right now, going into the evening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, getting home from work and it's dark.
Yeah.
No. 7 o'clock, my wife wants to crawl up in bed. She's like, all right, we're done for today.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it works for me.
That's what my wife was telling me, something like going to bed at 7. 7? What?
It's
Gosh.
late. It's late. Can you see the darkness outside? I mean, come on.
Well, I guess if we were doing things right, we should be shutting down when it starts getting dark. But you know.
Yeah. I guess we got to.
It does. It forces you to go, okay, I'm done.
Yep. Yeah, it does.
I mean, it doesn't matter in here because we've always got lights on and stuff. So it's like,
Yeah.
Right.
John's got the lights on and say, no, you're not done. You got to.
yeah, we got to keep going, man. Going. That's the way it is. Anyway, so hey, good morning. I don't have the printouts for us today. Sorry. So we're gonna kind of jump right in here.
That's okay because we have technology.
We do,
Yeah.
and we should.
Did you tech this weekend?
Oh. Wow, what did I do this weekend?
Oh boy. Doesn't know what he did.
You know what?
You drank too much.
No. I changed the sprinkler head and I changed an outlet. That's what I did.
That's not really teching.
That was
It's
was
kinda
more
low tech, I
like
guess.
that's like
water tech.
yeah,
Like-
kind of
Yeah,
some
it's
teching,
kinda
I guess.
tech, but
It
just
was techalicious, but no, I don't think I really tech. Oh, my wife was on Oculus a lot.
oh,
That's fun teching though.
Yeah, she was on Oculus.
But that wasn't you. That was her.
That wasn't me.
Unless
I'm
you
watching
joined
this
her.
new show where they.
I was watching her on her stream. I watched her stream
Oh,
on
there you go.
TV.
Have you guys seen The Peripheral yet? The Peripheral
No, I couldn't see
on
it.
Amazon Prime.
I wasn't able to see it.
Oh, it's pretty cool.
Is it?
Too far
They're
out of my-
using Oculus also.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, but they've got a newer one that supposedly was. I won't spoil it for you though, but interesting. Check it out, Amazon
Anything
Prime.
like Ready Player One?
Oh no, this is
that
very
really-
different.
That's what I thought it was going to be like. I'm like, I don't need to watch Ready Player One again. That was already a good show, so why
Yeah,
mess it up?
that was a good
This
show.
this is a twist on maybe a story that's been told before, but I don't want to ruin it for you. So check it out. At least watch one episode. You'll.
Terminator.
He don't want to get you ruined. No ruinting.
Don't want to ruin it for
No
me?
ruining it. No ruining it.
Nope.
So, but anyway, I didn't put this in here. Google releases emergency Chrome 107 update to patch actively exploited 0-day. What is that?
Yeah, 0-day again. We talked a little bit about this.
I remember
I think last week or a
yes.
couple weeks ago. But 0-day is a type of vulnerability that is, not known by the developer of the software that's affected. In other words, they had no security bulletin that they had to publish out there, or nobody informed them of this vulnerability. And there's no patch for it yet. So a 0-day is a new vulnerability that's been discovered, and they call it 0-day because it's like available out there and it's exploitable. This is the 7th one this year, though, so far for Google Chrome.
That's
now,
messed up.
it's not just Google Chrome that's affected here. Any of the other platforms that use the Chromium engine, such as Edge from Microsoft or Brave or any of the other ones out there, and that's also the Apple version of the Chrome browser, all of them require this update so that you can patch this vulnerability. So it's really, really, really important if you use a Chromium-based browser, get this update, because otherwise you could fall victim to some type of breach or incident or hack. So definitely get the update. Definitely.
It's definitely worth getting.
Yeah,
And
and
it's very easy to update Chrome.
yeah, you just
I
go
thought
to
it did it
help
by
and
itself.
about it, and it'll even ask you,
Yeah,
do you want to update
settings-
to the latest version? You know?
Settings
so-
about, and it'll automatically start updating and say, hey, install the update, click the button, and hit relaunch, and you're
I
done.
thought Chrome
Right.
did it by itself.
Sometimes it needs a little.
Yeah, you want to check.
Encouragement?
For this one, you want to check. You don't want to leave this one be.
Yeah.
And that leads right into the next one, Windows. I don't know if you guys knew this, but every second Tuesday of the month is Big Update Tuesday from Microsoft. So Big Update Tuesday last week, which was what, the 8th or the 9th? Anyway, there was a lot of updates that came out. This is probably one of the biggest Big Update Tuesdays from Microsoft, and there are at least 12 critical updates. Now, critical updates are the ones you do not want
I got the
to.
little orange.
Yeah, so what do you
Don't
do
look at
for
it,
those? Now, if you have Windows 10 and 11, it's supposed to update the most critical ones for you automatically, but that doesn't always happen. You can always click on the Start button, just start typing in Update or Windows Update, and then click on Windows Update and get those updates, because there's, again, a lot of important updates this cycle. And if you got the pop-up and you ignored it, this is, again, one of those you do not want to ignore, because whenever there's a security bulletin put out, that means that the bad guys also know about it. So they're actively working on trying to find a way to exploit that vulnerability. And at least 6 of these updates were 0 days, in the case of Microsoft even. 5 of them on the desktop side. 1 of them was the Exchange vulnerability that's kind of popped up here and there again over the past couple of months. So definitely get your updates for both Chrome and Microsoft.
Get them done,
audits.
man. Get them done.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hate Microsoft. Just saying.
Oh,
I'm just, I still have a Mac at the house, and I'd rather just stay on that if I could just stay on anything.
I kind of like Microsoft. What about you? It's
yeah.
giving us a business, right?
yeah. Keeps us rolling.
But it ain't give me no business.
Yeah, we have a business because of Microsoft. So thank you, Microsoft.
Thank you, Microsoft. Yes, thank you.
It's kind of weird.
Since '95.
So I had someone this weekend that watches the show, and they're like, "How do you have 2 guys that do the same thing on the same show?" And I'm like, "They don't do the same thing. They do different. I mean, they can do the same things, but they're different."
Right.
So I want to take a couple of minutes, tell them what you do, and then I'm going to have them tell them whatever. But I'm going to Adam tell them what he did, because it is different.
Right, and just to kind of give you an idea of things, like there's so many specializations within the IT space that I even have to outsource some parts of it, because the expense and the liability of just taking on something like a security operations center, for
Right.
instance,
Yeah.
I do not want that liability on my company, 1. And 2, if I partner with somebody that can do that for me, it's going to be a far better solution, most likely, because that's all they concentrate on. So what my company focuses on is called managed services provider, but we actually call ourselves a managed IT department. So while we are doing a service for businesses of pretty much any size, we can provide support for larger organizations that have a need for a support desk, network operations center, and a security operations center. And so computer repair for home users and things like that is not part of our focus at all. We typically work with businesses, and they're typically high technology need businesses that want quick results, because like we look at our numbers all the time, and our average time to answer the phone with a live technician for support calls is less than 30 seconds. And the average amount of time it takes to resolve most of our issues, greater than 80%, it's like 81, 82% right now, is within 12 minutes. So that's one of our key performance indicators that we keep track of, and we want to make sure that we resolve things quickly. And that's probably the main focus of what we do. So.
Right. Correct.
And Adam,
Me.
tell everybody what you do.
Well, we focus on both residential and small business, both mostly smaller end businesses, but we also focus on the repair side, where we can sell full on computers, build custom computers, sell hardware and software solutions, and we're usually the go-to if somebody broke their screen, they need their computer up and running, because they just broke the one device that they had all their company, their whole company running on. We have some smaller managed clients that we do, but our main focus is on the residential space and break and fix. So a lot of times, you have people or businesses that don't want a managed service plan, You can't sell them. You can't sell them if they don't want to spend the money. Then, if they just need a one-off IT department, then that's what where we focus on.
Yeah. And another thing that I know that we'll do is that when we get things that are not a good fit for us, I'm going to partner with Adam on that because, we're not focused on break fix type of things. So I'd rather give Adam that business and make sure that those folks are well taken care of. So
in the long run, it ends up complementing because for the most part, if I find a company that I'm not going to be able to handle, that's too large, for instance, and services that I'm not going to be able to provide in a timely fashion, then I can move it over to John, and vice versa. He can push.
Right.
The one-off jobs where somebody doesn't want to get rid of their laptop or move to a different device, or they need devices right away. I have sourcing for that equipment, and we work back and forth, and it'll make things easier for everybody. And plus, knowing that the job's going to be done correctly is the biggest point. Especially when you're trying to recommend somebody or have a customer that you need to make sure they're taken care of.
Yeah.
Oh, your speakers are still on.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
We should have a lot of dings going on around this office, anyways.
A lot of dings.
Yeah, a lot of dings. With all the technology, we can't mute it all.
I know, right? That sucks.
So you can't simply close a program like Outlook, which is making all the noise. You have to actually quit it in an Apple.
Yes.
Yes, you do, because everything runs in the background.
Yeah.
So have you guys seen, so I put this in, I think I brought it in through, was it a TikTok thing I did it through? No, it was
I
just.
brought that one in, but.
Oh, you brought, well, let's talk about this. The doll.e2.
Right. There's a couple others too that are available out there for those. Stability.ai has something called Dream Studio. But I brought up this one. Each of these will require that you sign up for an account with them. However, we have a way to just give you a demonstration on the DALL-E2 site just by just selecting a couple of the pre-made demos that they already have on there. I don't know if you can bring that up real quick, but it's pretty cool. In other words, you can type in text
Rob can.
for what you would like to have an image created for, and it can be in a variety. You can have it made so it looks realistic, or in cartoon fashion, or line drawing fashion, or watercolor, or you name it. It's really interesting, and I don't think you have the demo page there, but
I don't know.
But what they let you do is just type in a description of what you're wanting for that artwork or for an image, and it'll put something together for you really quickly using AI, and then it's real quick. So you could have, for instance, like an astronaut playing with cats in space, or playing basketball with them. You name it. You type in whatever you want, and it's going to create it. Like we've got some samples on screen there right now that are actually pretty cool. Like you got a panda bear doing a lab experiment. It looks like, and a dog just like emerging from a dark hole. I don't know, a puppy, but it's really interesting. So you put this together with some of the other things that are out there now, like the AI voices and characters that you can have. You just think about.
Oh, that's right. Because I did put this in. I did put this in there where, and we chose this over that one. So which is fine. This is actually where you got to go anyway. But they were like telling you they typed in. There's this whole presentation that you're given, and everything in the back, including and then the host up front, is all AI.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
it's very impressive.
And then I saw some even scarier ones that said, what does hell look like? Or what does Nancy Pelosi really look like inside? And dude, it came up with some most demonic shit you'll ever see in your life. You're like, no way. That's really...
Dream Studio, they have some really good, like, dark looking images.
Oh, I think he's doing one right now.
Yeah,
Or
so that's
it's
kind of
maybe
like
a
the demo right there. It's showing you a little bit. If you scroll down a little more, you can see the different choices where they let you choose some of the options.
That's crazy.
But it really brings about a lot of capability. Now, one of the other cool things, and I believe it's Dream Studio from Stability, or Stability.ai.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like either Bing is going to bring them or one of these other companies that are providing this, so that if you do a search for some of these, it'll automatically generate one of these images in the search.
That would be hilarious. I'd be like, oh, here's the image that we just created for you. but you're trying to find the content regarding it, and then you're like, oh, come on, what the heck?
Yeah.
Well, wait. So now there's another site for the one that I put in TikTok, right? Or put in the messenger from TikTok. All the information in the back that she's reading, you go in this one AI site, which we've talked about this before, like Jarvis, and there's other ones.
Yeah.
You put in a subject, and it will give you the verbiage.
Right.
And you can tell it, I need it to be this long, and it will give you that much content.
Yeah, I just look around the studio here and I see things like Baby Yoda in a backpack, and it's like, it'll draw that stuff for you, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. But the
And
one,
you can
but
maybe even have it narrated.
and then the other, and then then the fake person will narrate that for
Right.
you.
Yeah.
And they look real. I mean, they're
It's-
really incredibly accurate
creepy.
as far as the details go, and they've got the mouth sync just perfected. Well, pretty close to perfection anyway, in most of them.
It's getting there.
And it's
Yeah,
cheap.
You can.
You do
you
have to
can-
pay for it. It's
Well,
not
yeah.
free.
Everything
Yeah,
you have to
those
pay
they'll
for.
give you a few like seconds
It'll be
worth
free
of
soon.
stuff for freebie stuff, and then you have
I
to
don't
pay
know.
for
One of
more.
these days,
But it's pretty
people
cheap.
they'll be dating each other and not even be dating each other. Their
Yeah.
AIs will date each other.
You're dating
Right.
my avatar.
There's a movie about that actually.
There is a movie. Actually, there was a movie a long time ago that was built around a AI female actress. She did all these movies, and no one ever. But supposedly she was a recluse, right? She did not like
Is that
going
the
out.
one with Scarlett Johansson?
I believe it was.
Okay.
No, not the one that not where she turned into not where she turned into the robot.
Yeah.
It may have been, but it may have been Scarlett. But it was it was probably 10 years ago. But the actress would never go out in public because she is a germphobe. Blah 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 blah. And to come to find out, she was actually AI.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it finally blew up and got out of hand, and they found out, oh, we've been following this person, and they're just not even real. But no one ever knew, because it was back then it was that good. It was an actress, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
I will tell you, it is getting kind of weird. So I literally took a selfie inside of a VR game with a with a
Virtual phone?
virtual camera tablet.
Oh.
So I'm playing a bowling game, right? Which I got so immersed in playing this bowling game that there was a table in front of me, just like at the bowling alley. There's a table in front of me, and I literally tried to put one of my controllers onto the table for a split second. I threw myself off. Whoa! And I was like, whoa, wait a sec. And I caught myself. But laying on the table is a tablet. You can reach out and grab the tablet, and you can take pictures in the game. Well, the thing that really got me was the fact that you can turn the camera around, now holding it up, and it's got a picture of my arm, holding it, taking a selfie with me holding a thumbs up.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So I sent myself a selfie from the virtual world into the real world.
Why didn't you send that to us?
I'm trying
would be
to,
a
but
great- yeah.
I'm about to do it.
All
I'm
right.
sending it. And
That I did not. I have seen that, in the commercials for the Meta. We're getting ready to talk about Meta. This ought to piss a lot of people off. But they show themselves taking pictures with each other, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool and creepy at the same time.
it
Yeah.
is.
It's like, oh, I can.
So I wonder if you'll be able to do that, like one of the other, I mentioned this one time before, I think, but like movies, they're talking about movies having AI experiences within the movies so that you can
Why not?
put yourself right next to any one of the characters in the movie.
And do first person with that character
Right.
or third
And
person
if
view.
you can do selfies with it, just think of all the great pictures you could
Just
have.
think
It's
of
like,
that.
hey, I'm here with, whoever.
Okay, that is
yeah,
creepy.
we're getting too immense.
Yeah,
immersed
that's
into
Way
that's a
too
rabbit hole
much.
we don't want to go down.
So let's talk about Meta, because they're getting ready to make a lot of people angry.
Senate.
So Meta is killing Portal and both its unreleased smartwatches.
Think about it. Portal also works as the tablet mounted face piece. It also they also have a screen that goes on like a television, things like that. So they have a lot of tech that they were trying to building out, especially for kids, your generation that would normally not go on Facebook. Trying to get the older generation on, your parents and stuff like that, so you could talk to them. So
Right.
now this happening, it reminds me all the time, like Google, for instance, or Microsoft, and other companies that are specifically software companies,
Right.
that they play in the software space,
Yeah.
that try to bring forth their own hardware, and it always bothers me because, for instance, Google's so quick to decommission something.
Yeah, Microsoft too,
Same
yeah.
thing. You would never know, like Windows Phone. That's something I spoke about before. They just we don't want to deal with it no more. No, it gets a little ridiculous now with them getting rid of Portal and any other products. The only reason why they come out with Oculus is because they bought Oculus.
Right.
They bought the Oculus company, and they're just feeding money into the development and allowing it to grow. But that's not their, they didn't come to fruition with that. They're dependent on, when the Portal came out and stuff like that, they're just dependent on somebody else's Android device out there in the world to slap together a little device that connects to their Facebook app that allows you to do video chat through
So
Messenger.
if Rob can go back to the widescreen, I'm going to show the selfie you took. There it is. What's up, guys?
So literally, I'm bowling in the game.
You look not like a white guy. Just saying. Good looking. Very nice tan there,
Got
buddy.
a little Cuban going on there. don't
Yeah,
I?
I was going to say Cuban.
A little bit.
But no, yeah, I'm sitting there, and it's funny because that was the pose, and literally you can move your fingers in the game, and
That is very cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you adjust your fingers when you're throwing the ball?
You can do spins on the ball, yes. As
Interesting.
long as you twist your wrist right, and then you got so many different balls to choose from, it's ridiculous.
That's what she said.
It's so it's pretty cool, but I think software companies need to stay in their lane, allow allow hardware companies to do what they do.
Right.
Like Microsoft
Yeah.
is strictly a software company, and then they start, oh, you know what? We need to come out with a tablet because Apple makes a tablet. Apple makes hardware. That's their job. That's what they
Right.
do.
Right.
Why don't you try to connect your software to their hardware in a way, work in a kind of a partnership thing going on instead of trying to, beat them, and that's where the Surfaces came into play.
Yeah.
The Surface devices nowadays, finally, they're starting to kind of make a little sense. But remember back in the day when Surface first started being introduced, RTs. It ran Windows RT, which was Windows 8 slimmed down that could only run apps. It was not a full Windows kernel, and you couldn't install.
Yeah, very limited.
Very limited stuff. You couldn't.
And
put
you couldn't
little-
really use it in a business environment because
No.
it was more like a home version scaled down even.
Yeah,
so.
scaled down even more, and people thought, oh, well, it's Windows 8, but it's not Windows 8,
Right.
and they got confused. And I really thought that was a demise of the Surface program,
Yeah.
and I was surprised that it ended up.
They definitely made a comeback though. I've
Yeah.
actually got a Surface Pro and I like it. And I was one of those that always got like the Lenovo ThinkPad Carbon, X1 Carbon, and things like that because I always loved the Carbon. And I tried a Surface and it's like, wow, actually pretty nice. It's it's a couple years old now, 10th gen, but still a great product. So they definitely made a lot of improvements. That's for sure. They made a lot of
And
improvements.
a lot
on
of
Surface.
times they don't.
But yeah, I agree
They don't
with
put
you.
enough money into the R&D.
Stay out of hardware, stick with what you're the best at, and partner
Right.
with the right companies, and let them
Yeah.
do the hardware.
And
I agree.
And that way, customers don't buy into something and feel cheated at the end.
Right.
And that's where that's what I feel. I feel like when you get to that level and you start getting into an ecosystem, and hopefully we talk about that too.
And here we are talking about Facebook or Meta,
Meta.
and their canceling of this whole program, like the Portal, and I guess their smartwatches too. They're all just going away. They shipped like 800,000 units.
They did. And I'm just saying, there's going to be a lot of people that are
Yeah.
upset because they went and bought these because of the ease. So grandma and grandpa, aunt and uncle that are old don't have to go get on a computer and blah, blah, blah. They can just talk to everybody through this portal, this piece of
Yeah.
equipment, right? So if you went out and spent all this money, they better be buying it back.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion.
was-
If,
Yeah, and
if you
you're
made
right.
me buy it, you
Especially
should buy it back.
if it was
I didn't cancel the service.
if it was
You're canceling the service.
released within the year and you purchased it within the
Right.
year, I would say yes.
Yeah,
Take
they need to
it back.
support it or allow that return. And a lot of businesses bought into this initially too, and they were talking about only canceling out the consumer side and leaving business, but that last article definitely says they're pulling the plug on the business portal as well. So
Right.
it's like, wow. Yeah,
And-
when you had 800,000 units that shipped in 2021 alone, I mean, how many did they ship out this year? I didn't see that number. But you figure they're probably over 1 million devices. They're going to just drop that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they're going to be useless. They're going to be useless until somebody can figure out how to run Windows on it.
Right. Yeah.
Probably more like
okay.
Android,
So
probably.
I mean, the portal's basically is a tablet.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
they're not going to buy it back, can that be redone as a piece of equipment that's yours?
Sometimes they cannot. Sometimes they're locked down so much that they only run that one software, that one, they lock down the, usually have an Android
okay. So are they going to go? This is how to reset the thing, and you can
No,
use
they're
it as a
not going to
tablet?
do that either because they're going
See, that's just wrong.
they're going to claim proprietary.
Right. And I mean, you look at the cost of one of these devices and the amount of development it would take to probably look at either replacing that firmware that is most likely what's going to lock it down, or installing a new OS. Gosh, I mean,
Oh, somebody's going to find a way to.
Yeah, they
sideload
will,
it.
just for the fun of it.
Yeah, and it's going to be like, one of those kids that goes, I bought one of these and I'm pissed and I'm going to do this and I'm going to show you how to run, Linux on this machine.
There you go. All right. So, speaking of another thing now, because we're going from one technology to another, right? So now we're talking about. It's called Google Matter. I have a couple. I have the.
Well, it's not
the big piece over there.
It's not Google Matter for that for say. What it is Matter is.
It's kind of like a unifying thing.
It's a unifying thing for home technology, for the Internet of Things.
Right.
So, you got your door sensors, same situation what we were just speaking about.
Right.
You got your door sensors, your thermostats, all these devices. And instead of having to be stuck, like when I spoke about the Samsung Smart Things hub, instead of being stuck on a single platform,
Right.
allow all these devices to be able to speak back and forth to each other.
Right, and this is going to be a platform that allows you to use any type, whether it's Android-based, Amazon-based. I would imagine they probably develop something for even like the portal, but that's being pulled now. But Siri, on the Apple and Amazon's Echo and all those things can all be controlled by this one. It's kind of like a overarching operating system in a way, which I think I was wondering, when is this going to happen? Because it seemed like it was a need, and
it
there's
has
almost
been
always.
a need. Yeah, everybody had to make, had to release the some of the APIs, and then you had to have a company, integrate those APIs into their solution in order for the communication. That was like with the Smart Things hub. They integrated all these different APIs to communicate back and
explain
forth.
what an API is, because
API is like is the web code needed for the application to communicate with the server or whatever other endpoint. And if you want your device to work with this other device, you usually need that API code, so your software can then communicate with those devices at the other end. Because all they are technically are like running like little servers. They're little servers, little network servers, and they need to be able to communicate back and forth. And the only way to get them to talk to you is by the API.
Oh, well,
so it's something to look forward to bring all the different technologies together from all these different smart home devices.
Yeah, it'll allow you to be able to manage them into one central location, or instead of having like such a mix of devices out there, you won't have to worry about, like, say for instance you're using HomeKit. Now, when Apple decided that they were going to do the HomeKit, that really messed things up, because they wanted so much security that a lot of these devices weren't able to communicate with HomeKit and Apple products. So then the only way to do it would be to change your whole That makes, sometimes people have a lot of stuff, and it's not just, a couple sensors. We're talking sensors that are literally, they don't want the technology to be seen. So they have it built into the hinges. They have it built into the knobs itself. It's going to cost a fortune to change ecosystems. And when a company says, I'm no longer going to support it, well, if the hardware supports the Matter platform. It don't matter.
It don't matter.
It don't matter if you decide you don't want to build this product anymore, because you can go away, sir. I don't need your app. I will use a different app or a different way of controlling it.
Right. And you like Z-Wave, right?
Yes,
And they're
Z-Wave.
actually part of the development team that's on
Yes,
Matter. So that was kind of cool.
The Z-Wave is a low, like a Bluetooth technology in a
Yeah.
way, but it's very low powered, and your devices, you can put a battery in it and it'll last forever. The sensors, Z-Wave sensors, they last.
Where do you get the Z-Wave stuff at? Can you get that on Amazon?
Yeah. Just got to make sure that you're looking at the door sensors and stuff. Just make sure that they support or they Z-Wave technology. They usually have a little bumblebee.
Z-Wave?
Z-Wave, yeah.
Z-Wave.
Yeah, I like this description. Matter is a new language for smart home devices. That's a good way to put it. So,
It's what matters.
Yeah. No matter what it is.
No matter what it is.
Wow, it's all inexpensive too.
Yeah, Z-Waves are a good. I have when Lowe's was making the little. They had their own smart hub program going on at one time, and they made these little sensors, and they had the door sensors, and they were great, and they were all Z-Wave, little self-adhesive. You put them wherever you want. You can monitor the windows, monitor doors. It comes with, it has one little 12-volt battery you pop in there, and that thing lasts a year and a half, 2 years.
So on the Tech Shaman show, right on the bottom,
We
are going to start filling it because we now have an Amazon affiliate.
All right.
So we can start putting something. If you go, I don't know. Let's see. Nope, not we. I'm okay. It's.com. On the bottom down there, we actually bought a pair of our first thing that we got in studio. I don't know if Rob's wearing his or not, but I got a pair of. They are called One Audio they're over ears. I love mine.
Awesome.
So they're on theirs, and they're only $49. We're going to start putting all the
Does that
stuff.
have a boom mic and everything too, or is it just?
No, it's just headphones.
Just headphones.
I don't like all that crap in there. Now it does have it does have the option to plug it in and go to your phone. So it gives you two cables. One cable is to quarter-inch TRS and into a micro that goes in. But the cool thing about them is, say I'm sitting here and listening, but you want to listen and you want to listen, I don't have to have a whole bunch.
Ah,
I can
nice.
actually have another tether comes off and comes to yours, another tether off comes to, it's kind of neat.
Wow.
Very cool.
Yeah, it is. It's. I'm like, oh, that's kind of nice. Some people sitting around. Like I've seen. The problem with them is again
Parallel
they're
audio.
it is parallel audio. Very good.
Yes,
You knew that. But it's awesome. It works. I don't know if Rob's using his or not, but I've
Somebody
used mine
jumps
now.
out of the link, it still stays up.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, so we're gonna start putting stuff down there. Maybe you can throw me some links of stuff, and we'll put them in there.
Yeah, that'd be
We'll
great.
just build a whole.
Yeah,
Because
I'm going to be.
So I know this.
store going on.
We're gonna. So if I wanted to
They have
set
some
my
great
house,
deals.
if I wanted to set my house up,
I thought you were going to say set your house on fire.
Oh,
no, that's never mind.
didn't
What am
say
I
that.
looking at cost-wise? Just a simple setup, like some door sensors,
Well, the sensors
couple of lights.
you should be able to get for two sensors for around $20 or so.
Yeah, there's that one little plug-in sensor you were talking about. It's $39.
Yeah, or some of them you can get even cheaper, like the Wi-Fi devices, because a lot of times, again, with the smart hub, it can communicate with everything. So if you mix and match devices, depending on the cost and stuff, you can build out a whole system that has one integration. You don't have to worry about what app you're going to use. Once you add it to the system and do the link, you're done again with the API.
Because so at the house I did an Alexa, right? So I have all this stuff in there, but my kids kept turning the lights on and off, so I can't even get them connected lights anymore. It's just stupid.
If you dig hard enough, I think the 10-inch Alexa Echo Show, the 10-inch model or 10 or 12-inch, does carry the hub option built into it, which also supports the Z-Wave, which then you'll be able to use it as a hub to connect. But you need to be able to have a central location that can connect all those devices. Wi-Fi devices.
So I'd rather just have you. Well, let's give everybody. So what we need to give everybody is the hub, which hub to get a hold of, and then we'll put some stuff on there on the
Yeah,
side,
maybe
like
some
plugs,
Yeah.
recipes for like doing movie nights so that they'll dim the lights and turn on the amplifier and.
Because I like getting those bulbs that are,
Lower the
Wi-Fi
window shades.
that they're supposed to connect to Alexa, which now they won't because the kids turn the lights on and off. I actually want to change that switch out.
I have the Wi-Fi Samsung R1 speaker that they don't make anymore, but I still have one of those, and it's connected to it connects to Wi-Fi in the house. So when one of the doors opens, it announces that the door opened.
Oh, that's
the door
cool.
Closed. But you have to program it in there to say what you want it to say.
Yeah.
But then again, if you want, you can change it to say whatever you want.
Oh,
That's
really?
An awesome thing.
Can you make it go?
Yes, you can
Oh,
have
Star
it play
Trek.
a sound. You can have oh yeah, oh yeah.
All right, I'm in, dude. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're gonna jump to next. We're gonna jump to our boy Elon.
Elon again.
So
Making the news a lot lately.
Here he has. Good for him. So the rumor was that he was going to start shipping all the Teslas that are made in China to the States. And he pretty much just kind of squashed that. He goes, no, it was considered, but no. Why would they do that? He's got plants in the United States that are doing just fine. He said something the other day which kind of made me boggle my mind. I was watching an interview. He goes, we all can't have electric cars. Literally what he said, we all cannot have electric cars.
He also said it's a mistake to try to remove our dependence off of fossil fuels right now. He says that it's something that needs to be eased into. So he
he did say
completely
that
against all of
but he all,
the current actions to try to shut down.
But when he said we all can't have it, and then he went into the detail of the reason we all can't have it is the fact that there's not enough material on the earth to do this. They can't make enough batteries. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Until there's a new battery technology, you can't have enough battery. And even then, we're still dependent on fossil fuel.
Right.
Because over 3/4 of our power plants are coal-driven and oil-driven.
Yeah.
They're not nuclear.
Well, I did read a report where they're going to they found a way to source lithium out of saltwater, the ocean.
Yeah, but did you read how much it takes to get just
A lot.
Yeah,
But it's cost effective. So if mining operations, fuel costs start continuing to rise, then it could be a possible option. So.
Oh, we got pictures of trucks.
There's other battery technology that's available right now. It's just they need to refine it and get it to the consumer price point still. So,
Right.
And I brought up one of those before. Graphene is very promising, and every R&D department out there is working with graphene at some point because graphene is 1 atom thickness, so it's incredibly small. And it can be combined with things like silver or gold, and making it extremely strong as well. It's stronger than any other material. So there's a lot of promise in that, and I'm just curious why it's taken so long to get viable battery technology out of this, because it was one of the most promising aspects of graphene. So I'd like to see more development there and more research and development funds going towards it, because that's where you can have something as thin as a sheet of paper being a battery that can be near instantly charged, and you can almost have perpetual energy that way.
So you mean actually have one of the wheels charging the batteries while
Or even a little impeller on the roof, or solar on the roof, you name it. There'd be lots of ways to keep a trickle charge on it.
See?
And solar
said that for years.
Yeah.
Haven't I? This is since we've been doing this show, I always kept saying there should be one wheel of that Tesla or electric car that is a generator that constantly keeps the batteries going.
Yeah, it
Always.
makes sense, doesn't
And
it?
everybody's like, well, that's perpetual energy, and it's just almost a wash. Well, that's what you want it to be, as a wash.
Right.
You don't want to ever have to plug your car back in.
Yeah.
Ever. That one wheel just becomes a monster generator. We do it now. Except it's an alternator, and it keeps the battery charged.
There's a young gentleman that's been playing around with Tesla's old technology.
Yep.
That I've been watching periodically. I forgot, but I think it's Dr. something. He calls himself Doctor something, but he's using the modulating technology, the rectifiers and stuff, to transmit electricity wirelessly from like one city to another city.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes.
And
And
do we
he's
have
the
to
one
worry
that
about
built
getting-
that little cone in the backyard of
In
his.
his backyard.
That dude
And
is.
And the young
Good
man,
for him.
the young man was able to find somebody that wanted to build a receiving antenna for the electricity, and gentleman said, let's see if it really works, and it was they were able to transmit power from this.
Yeah,
young
they let him
man's
do a TED
backyard.
Talk about it.
Yeah, from his backyard to
And carbon-based life forms weren't cooked in the process?
no, because of the way they tuned the frequency
Interesting.
for the power.
Can we say
it
Nikola
uses-
Tesla?
This gentleman, this kid's, and he tunes it to the same wavelength as our Earth's atmosphere. So technically, he's using the atmosphere of
To-
the Earth to transfer the electricity wirelessly.
See.
So you would only need one power substation, basically. So every so often to be transmitting on a certain frequency, and then you'd have your receivers on the other end receiving the power.
See, this is really interesting because another rabbit hole here, sorry, but
no.
the pyramids, there's a couple of the pyramids where they have stuff that they believe generated light because you see and it's wireless power, cordless power, whatever you want to call it, because some of the hieroglyphics, they have these creatures with the big
Yeah.
noses on them with a staff that has a light on it. And it's like as long as they're within range of the pyramid, they
Yep.
would be able to light. They had a light source
Oh wow.
because they actually show on the hieroglyphics, like rays of light coming off of the stick. So this is possibly something along the same lines. Nikolai Tesla
Nikolai.
and all that.
That's what he was
This
about.
would be really cool. Maybe we should bring that next.
So, do you see the image behind
look
us?
Yes.
That's been made by a cell phone company.
Well, Foxconn's more than just a cell phone company.
Yeah,
You probably
I
have
know.
motherboards and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that from Foxconn. They've been in the tech business a long time,
Long
making
time.
circuit boards and motherboards and
They make
computer
custom
stuff
boards and circuits.
even chassis, from what I remember way back when.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that was like one of the ones I always looked for were Foxconn.
I mean, it's a
'cause
sharp-looking vehicle.
They made quality stuff. I mean, they also make the iPhones, right? They're the ones that actually manufacture
So
the.
yeah, Lordstown Motors, when they originally started up, they bought a Detroit factory.
Right.
Money was coming in, things were going good, production was taking longer than expected. The technology, they had a lot of competition, things happening. So the company then turned around and said, "We're going to sell the plant," and they found a buyer, which was Foxconn, who is also the major builder for components for Apple products. And that whole thing went through, and Lordstown's been kind of like floundering a little, doing a little thing, still working on their production and stuff, and getting ready to release their truck. And at the same time, you have Foxconn, who got a really good deal on that building, turn around and has just decided to re-inject $170 million back into Lordstown Motors. So Lordstown
Wow.
does have something, and if I'm not mistaken, there's another big company that purchased some of their vehicles as well.
Well, Saudi Arabia,
Oh yeah, well there's
the government, so they're
Yeah, so
they're going to
the-
be some of the first to get their electric trucks.
and there's supposed to be a partnership where not only that Lordstown Motors and Foxconn come together to generate a spin-off company that is going to help feed Saudi Arabia and
Right.
stuff like that. But yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting.
Well,
This company might.
I wouldn't mind having one. That would just be a fun drive around. It wouldn't be
Well,
something that you would work with.
this is also going and playing on the concept that Apple was also thinking about creating their own electric vehicle.
Oh, really?
And if Foxconn just needed a company, the right company to create, they have the electronics, they have the brains, they can mass produce.
Right.
And they're already working with them,
silicone.
so,
They're already
yeah.
working with Apple.
Yeah.
And you have this company who says, Apple doesn't jump right in, and it could have been this whole time, Apple could have said, "Hey, I need you to do this."
So will it be an iCar and an iTruck?
iTruck.
It's a pretty iconic look to it.
It
Yeah.
is. I like the
And
look of it.
that color right there, or even a silver one, would scream iTruck.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. To me, it looks like a trooper car,
Like stormtroopers?
stormtroopers.
Okay.
That's what they would drive.
The motors,
So you have to-
motors are in the wheels itself, are the hubs.
Oh, wow.
So instead of
Great
using
tech.
a whole, gear reduction.
So the whole undercarriage could be battery, kind of
Yes.
like on Tesla.
That is cool. Just make one of them a
That should
generator.
mean that they get good range out of these things then if they can make more space for the
more
battery.
space for battery. And who
Top
says
speed's 118 miles an hour.
and who
Okay.
says you can't? Once you reach a certain speed, that
45
it
minutes
shuts down
for-
two of the wheels.
How far can you
Sure.
get on a charge? Did it say?
Well, you figure they got to try to get up towards Tesla or better, because there's a European company that's getting 550, like 550 miles.
200 miles.
So 200, yeah, it's still
That's
a
not
little-
pulling anything either.
Yeah, that's still kind of short. But I mean, if
Pull
you're
it, you're
recharging
probably
everything-
talking in 30 miles. Woo!
I've seen that a lot of times. People have been going out and buying some of these electric trucks and then using them to haul trailers and then
Well, we
complain.
had a story about that.
Oh yeah, did we?
Yeah,
We
he
did.
only got 25% total.
Yeah.
Once pulled.
Well,
Crazy.
I mean, think about it. If they have electric brakes. Why on the trailers? Why can't they put a couple electric motors and a little battery pack on them puppies too?
Why
Well,
can't just
that's
make
the
one of them a
joke, right?
generator
You
for
just-
God's sake?
Yeah, you just carry your generator around with you and keep it.
Who was that? Well, that's and
There's a couple
that's-
memes I've
that's-
seen on that.
That's Edison Motors. They literally bring in their generator with them.
Yeah.
Or the one, the one meme I like the best is the one where it's got an alternator that's belted on the outside of the car. It's bolted on the, and it's belted to the tire.
Come on now. Stop.
Oh, I know, right? Come on.
And the funny thing is, the alternators need power to be able to generate, to wire them
Make
up.
one tire, an alternator, a generator. It doesn't matter.
No, it's still gonna lose power. You still got friction. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so one of the reasons I'm really interested in the Z-Waves stuff is because this is what I'm hearing, that Alexa might not get much smarter than it is right now. So right now it's never going to get any smarter.
Well, that's because Amazon is having to fire a bunch of people and they're losing money and they're not looking to put, kind of like what we were talking about, it's outside of their core competency in a way too, right? It is another form of control they have
Yeah,
when they can listen in on everything.
They can listen in on it, find out what they want to show you on their Amazon app for products for sale.
Right.
Add to the shopping list. If they own that whole ecosystem, then that's their go-to place. But I don't think it can get much smarter. Believe it or not, not for nothing, but like the Siri home pods, they are pretty stupid considering.
Well, the
Well-
other thing about the Amazon
I sent the
Echo
results to
and
you.
all that, you have the ability to add skills. So those are
Right.
actually programs in
Yeah.
a way. So that'll still stay open, and you can have a variety of skills that you can still bring into it. It's just, is it really? Unless you go full on Jarvis mode, right?
Right.
You got to put a whole lot more tech
True.
in the device
True.
to be able to get more out of it. Because because audio processing is quite a bit of processing plus that speech recognition, all that stuff.
I think the only thing they could really do to make it any smarter or just make it more realistic. I don't think they can make it any smarter.
Right.
For say, I think the Amazon devices, that whole platform, that it seems pretty smart already. Because I haven't really had major issues with asking a question and having it not really respond with a full-on answer and not say,
Right.
I will send the results to your phone. No, I don't want the results to my phone. I want
Right.
you to answer the question.
Right.
Right.
I
Well,
asked a question.
I think AI might eventually push this out too, because there's only a limit to what you can do with this type of tech. So, just like with Google,
Yeah.
this has a limited future,
Right.
really. So that's the other thing. It's kind of
Well,
an uncertain future for it.
it's coming to something, because I was at Best Buy yesterday. I had to go get a DTS cable. We call them light pipe, but the glass. And as I was checking out, you can buy an Amazon puck for $17.
Yeah.
and they had hundreds of them. They had the whole, everything
Echo
was
Dot.
complete.
Yeah,
Oh
that's-
my
that's
God.
the old
Everything was
stuff. They're
completely.
just trying to get rid of it all
Yeah,
now,
they're
right?
like, please take this.
You ever notice at all the conferences, those are like a frequent giveaway? Yeah, because they're selling them cheap. They're trying to get them out there.
Go
And
over
it's
there
like, hey, cool.
for $100, you can get 5 of them.
I think I told you guys my wife uses it. Alexa, turn on hot rollers. She uses it to turn on certain things in the house and stuff. So turn on the Christmas tree, Christmas time.
Oh, did I
stuff like
forget?
that.
Talk to your phone, Alexa, turn off.
Yeah, turn on
Curler.
the outside lights and all that
Blah
stuff.
blah
so.
blah. Oh, okay, no problem. Oh wow, we're burning through stuff today.
Alexa, lock.
So I put this in here because I know you are more into this world than I am, and it's the fall of crypto exchanges. FTX is worse than Theranos, worse than Madoff, and federal probes mount for the former SEC official says. I don't know. I saw this the other day going, oh, the final piece has come into place, and you see Biden, you see FTX now, and then you see China.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my.
This they call him a crypto tycoon. This 31-year-old guy, I think he is 31. Sam Bankman-Fried. I think he's no longer going to be free, and he's definitely going to get fried here. He was doing a giant Ponzi type of scheme, which is really strange because I've seen interviews of this guy where he's still driving like a Toyota Corolla and stuff like that, but he's got billions of dollars that came in, and FTX had like $213.5 million that they basically wrote off as a complete loss, total loss, because of this scam that this guy. I'd almost call him a kid because it seems
He
like
looks like he's.
Yeah, he looks like a kid and
10
he's acting like a kid, but
or 16.
he totally scammed all these folks into giving him all this money, and it's just like the same type of thing that we saw with, gosh, I can't remember the lady's name that did that tech firm with the blood testing and things like that. It was one of the things mentioned here.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing where he had kind of a novel idea, but couldn't deliver on it. And he just absolutely couldn't deliver on it. He keep taking the money, and
Well,
he
do
just
you
kept
think
taking
people
it
would
in
eventually
and-
go, hey?
Well, that's why when he was checked, there's a lot of due diligence that goes into having a company like this, FTX. Anything dealing with commodities or funds of any type are going to be highly scrutinized. And when he was being checked out, they learned, okay, he's got money going where it's not supposed to, money that's supposed to be in the bank that he was giving for other purposes. And he was donating millions and millions of dollars to several Democratic candidates, and even the Biden.
Henceforth White was in the little pyramid. Oh,
Yes,
I get it now. Yeah.
millions and millions of dollars. It was like $30 million to Biden's campaign, 26.
So do you think this will push people away from crypto for a little while?
Well, I think there's an active effort to try to get people away from it, and
Yeah.
the reason why is because if the little people get out, the big companies can make more. Because they use the same tactics trying to tell people, don't buy crypto. It's absolutely worthless, and you're going to lose your money on it. While at the same time, they're buying up millions and millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of crypto themselves, while at the same time telling people not to buy it.
Damn. Well,
So
there you have
I
it.
think there's not really good recommendations coming from those that have a lot of money on this, because
Right.
there's other ways to make money with crypto. That doesn't matter if the crypto's going up or down.
Okay. So we're almost out of time. I don't want to jump to this one real quick. So we're going to talk about TikTok. So I saw this. We're not going to play the video. We don't have time. If you want to know it, reach out to us. We'll send you the TikTok video. And he was talking about the difference between TikTok and all the other social medias, and how actually TikTok is probably, unfortunately, the government, now they're trying to try to ban TikTok, which I don't know if they can do that or not, but there's too many of us that have it on our phones now, and it's just too late. It is what it is. What it is they can't control it. That's truly what I think the government, that's what the issue is like with they went to Facebook and said, you need to do this and you need to do this. And they went to Twitter, you need to do this
Well,
and you need to do
it's
this.
owned by
And they
the-
followed suit.
It's owned by Chinese, so they
Yeah.
can't directly control them like they can. companies here.
Factors that influence TikTok algorithm is videos you like and share, accounts you follow, content you create, comments you post, videos, this is your user interactions and the information's captions, hashtags, and audio, device and accounts, device type, counties, country settings, and language preferences. The thing of it is when you can have like 35 people following you, but yet you can have videos that have been seen thousands and thousands of times.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean they didn't smash the like button or the follow, but it's different because like with Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter
I had a
and
video
Instagram,
go 2.5 million people. I mean, just random
on TikTok.
on TikTok. Yeah.
But Facebook's not like that. Facebook wants you to pay to get that reach.
Exactly.
And with TikTok, it's not that way. So I'm just saying right now, until the government figures out what they're going to do, get on
Well,
TikTok because it's good
like,
for marketing.
Makes a lot of sense. It's interest-based algorithm, right? So it's definitely
and
better
that's the way
for the consumers
Facebook
of that.
used to be that way.
Right.
And now here's the thing, all the social
They
media
had to
platforms are
monetize
going,
it.
oh crap.
How do we make money on that?
Yeah, TikTok is like kicking our ass, and I mean even YouTube. TikTok is watched more than YouTube is now.
Wow.
So it's like, oh, crap, what do we do? So 30 seconds of Tech Shamans at area52tv.com if you want some more information on what we've got. We didn't even get through half our list today, which is good. I'd rather have the stuff left over than sitting there at the end and going,
That's right.
oh, what do we talk about now? I don't know what we talk about. Yeah. So look, if you got any questions, email us, text us, message us, whatever. Thank you for watching. I'm John.
John?
Adam.
So we are your Tech Shamans, and you know what? Everybody have an awesome week, and we will not be here next week. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody after Thanksgiving. Bye.
Yes, happy
See ya.
Thanksgiving.